for Flabonga Monthrothacube. With Dale and Tony breaking all the rules, talking tech, biz, and straight up chaos. Quick fire guests, oh yeah, we slay those.
That was amazing. So
I really like it. It's good.
like, that's made me so happy. So happy that I've forgotten to do the proper intro. Hello, my name is Dale Rodriguez, and this is a Flabonga Monthrothacube. That's how it's pronounced. With me today, I have...
Jemma Fairclough-Haynes from Orchard Employment Law.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm supposed to be asking you questions, but just to reiterate to the long-time fans, that's the first time we've had an intro jingle. And you don't know that you may not know this, Gemma. The intro jingle was made by a long-time friend of the show, Mark Howison. He showed us the power of AI, right? He put some stuff into ChatGPT, it made those lyrics, and then he put it in some other AI thing, and it made that song based on some of our prompts. That was it. Took him like 5 minutes.
So
Yeah.
even the singer is like an auto...
That's not a person.
Bot thing.
Yeah, it's a bot.
Wow.
And that's edited for the 20 seconds intro. It's actually a 2-minute, 3-minute song. It's a proper full-on song with lyrics.
What do you think? I know you're supposed to be interviewing me, but what do you think about the whole AI thing? Are you using much of it? What's going on?
It's funny you say that. This isn't an interview, by the way. This is just a conversation. Ask me as much as you want.
Oh,
What do I think about AI? Okay. I have 2 thoughts. One of them is my silly thought, and it's possible, right? I have watched Space Odyssey. I have watched Terminator. I have watched The Matrix. We all know if machines get too powerful, the conclusion is humans are bad for the planet. Fare thee well, humans. Rise of the machines. It's possible. Serious answer. It's going to disrupt a lot of industries: accounting, legal, recruitment, HR, people and culture. It's gonna flip the game upside down. We've just heard an AI voice singing. There's a lot of avenues for creativity and a lot of avenues for threats, but that is the same with every new invention. You know, internal combustion engine or explosives. It's the same thing, but used differently. Am I nervous about it? 2% nervousness. That wasn't very good English, but yeah, that's my take on it. And the one thing I want to emphasize to other people watching this as well, the nerd that I am, AI is still limited by computer processing power, right? In so much as we talk about CPUs and how thin they are, like nanometers, and it's how much juice and how much processing it can do. Until we get quantum CPUs, I'm not going to go into that, AI is going to always be limited. It can't process fast enough. But yeah, that's my thought on it, and that's kind of wishy-washy, but I hope that makes sense. Yeah,
makes sense.
What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, like you, I've watched iRobot and all sorts of things. So there is a little bit of it being scary. And actually, I recently contributed to this global HR magazine called Unleash. I don't know if you heard of them.
I haven't.
And they asked me if there were any pitfalls in terms of businesses making AI mandatory for their employees to use. The context behind that is Microsoft has just said to all of their employees, if you don't use AI, it's going to affect your bonuses and it could lead to sorry, my B12's due, so my brain's going. It could lead to disciplinary action.
Wow.
So it's interestingly, like the interviewer asked lots of people, lots of employment lawyers, HR people, business people, what they thought, and they were like, "Well, fair. I mean, like if you work for Microsoft, you should know that you're going to use AI." I've been thinking about this, and I like to kind of look ahead at employment law trends and what could possibly happen. And I think there are 2 dangers. One is you could end up discriminating against older people because they haven't grown up. I mean, they haven't grown up with the internet, let alone with AI, and so they might find it harder to adopt AI. I know there are lots of senior people who don't, but if we're looking at a population as a whole. And the second thing is, because I talk to lots of people in my other roles as FSB chair and whatever, so to speak to lots of business people, and there are some people who are staunchly against AI because of the lack of ethical use, the amount of water it uses.
It is a lot of water.
Yeah, and I think that could be a protected belief, like ethical veganism. If it's an ethical belief, and if you mandate people using it, then you could find it hasn't happened yet in terms of like any tribunal cases that I'm aware of, but I can see like within like next 2 years, that unfolding. So you heard it here first. That's
I
my.
was going to say, you just planted the seed for some people.
I mean, I'm just looking for some work to do. Do you know what I mean? So when you get those cases, come to me, and I will defend the reason why it's not. So,
Joke's on you. No one watches this show. There's only like 5
yeah,
people.
yeah,
Me, you, my mum,
yeah.
my cat, and that's pretty much
Yeah,
it. No one
your
watches
mum
that
will
shit.
tell all the
It's
chat.
amusement. It's amusement.
So,
Cool.
but personally, what I think it's good, you know, I was speaking with my personal trainer this morning, and she was telling me that she went out for a roast. She counts all her macros and nutrients and all of that stuff. Wasn't sure what she ate, took a picture of it, put it into Chat GPT, and was like, what do you reckon of this calories and macronutrients wise? And it told her. And obviously, it's just a guess, but she was like, it's better than nothing. It's quite interesting. So, definitely a helpful part of, you know, it's an aid, isn't it? It's like everything,
Yeah.
it's an aid.
Yeah. Dare I ask, you have PT. Are you training
Yeah.
for anything specific, like a
Life. I'm
marathon,
training,
or just
I'm training,
keeping
just
yourself
training
fit
for,
and
I'm
limber?
just
And
training for life.
okay,
Just training for life. Like I just want to make sure that I can still get off the chair when I'm 90, if I'm, you know, still here.
All right, okay.
So just training for life. So I go to
Are
the
you
gym
doing
now
weights
like
as well
5
at the
times a
moment?
week. Of course, I love
Making them
weights.
gains?
I actually cry when I have to do cardio.
Because cardio is terrible, right? No, we can agree on this. You know what? I really wish Tony were on this episode because, first of all, he's from the Midlands and he loves
Is
lifting
he?
weights like me, and he doesn't like cardio so much. He's a big rugby
Yeah,
player, great guy.
yeah. But heart health is important, so I still make sure I do that at least twice a week. But on the whole, I am loving. I started going back 2 years ago. I'm loving the gym. Actually, really loving it. Yeah, it's my happy place.
Can I ask you a gym bro question?
Go for it.
How much you benching?
Oh, what, like chest press, benching?
Benching.
I can do 16s and 18s, individual weights. What's that together?
Nice.
32, 30, yeah, 36.
Not bad.
Chest
Not
press,
bad.
shoulder press in 16s,
Yeah.
RDLs 80 kilos.
That's
I'm
good.
quite strong. Yeah, I've got strong
Yeah.
legs. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Which one? Which movement is your favorite? Like the
Anything
exercise?
legs, RDLs,
Legs.
anything legs.
Like
Yeah,
your
I love
squats,
legs.
your deadlifts. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Do you actually like the feeling of DOMs? Because some people like the feeling of DOMs.
I do, but you know, I don't get it very often. She's a bit annoying.
Well, we got to tell your PT you're not working hard enough, man. Yeah.
I mean, she's on a mission to break me. I think that is literally her only job in life. She texts me like,
She's
"Feeling
encouraging
anything yet?"
you. She's not breaking you. She's encouraging you. That's
And
what's
yeah,
happening.
she's always like, any DOMs yet? So yeah, I don't really. So back when I was in my teens, this is my like second gym phase. When I was in my teens and early 20s, I was a gym bro then. And then life kind of got in the way. So I think I've had good muscle memories, even though I went back and I was fairly overweight. And it didn't take long for my body to remember that it can do this.
You're 100% right. Setting the foundation. If you've done it once and you go, hard for a year or two when you're younger, your body actually remembers what it's supposed to do, and will reconfigure accordingly. So you're right.
Yeah.
100%.
So yeah.
Oh, cool. Didn't know you were a gym person. That's great. I love the gym as well. It helps me meditate, helps me relax, helps me get rid of stress. And I want to encourage anyone who's watching this who doesn't do the gym because they're afraid. Don't be afraid.
Do it. Yeah.
99,
no one's watching you.
99, yeah, no one's watching you, and I can guarantee 99.99% of the people there are happy to help you and give you encouragement. Like I've had great times at the gyms with some gym friends and stuff. So if you're nervous about it, just go. There'll be nice people like me and Jemma there. Guaranteed.
Same. What do you hate? What's your worst piece of apparatus or thing?
As in what? Least favorite exercise?
Yeah.
The hack squat machine specifically. So I like you. I like leg day. I like squats.
Yeah.
I like my deadlifts. But the hack squat, the angle it's at, it hits different. It removes any mechanical advantage. So you're full on glutes. Like it just hurts. And I know guys who can squat 240 kilos but can barely manage 100 on there because it's just so the mechanical advantage is taken away. It hurts.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite, but I do it because it's good for you.
Got to be done in it. Yeah.
All right. 10 years in business, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a magnificent achievement because you're not a startup. You're a scale up. You're established.
Right. That's what I realised the week before.
You're established.
So I was like,
let's take a trip down memory lane, right? Because I assume you started by yourself many moons ago. What prompted you to start your own business?
that could be an hour's talking itself. But the whistle stop tour is, I was working for a company and very happy to be employed. So it was never in my, like if you'd asked me, what's your vision? It was never to be in business. I was happy to be an employee. I had a company car. I worked from home before working from home was a thing. I got on really well with the clerk, so I got all the nice cases for as long as I could, like the cases close to home. But I was at risk of redundancy, and I had been made redundant previously. So I've got a 15-year-old, and I had been made redundant when I was pregnant with my daughter.
Wow,
And
scary times.
yeah, and during that time, like I got in debt. It just wasn't good. So as soon as I was at risk of redundancy, even though I was told, you're at risk of redundancy, but you're not really, which is not good to do, by the way. That's not good
I was
practice.
going to say, that doesn't sound like a very good HR employment way of
No,
doing
it's
stuff.
not good
That sounds
practice.
naughty. Yeah.
So the first thing I did was to kind of look for another job. And so I had beat this guy in court on a technicality. I love a technicality. And we've kind of kept in touch.
Such a legal person. Such a legal thing to say.
Yeah, I love it. Like, yeah, the geek in me. So I didn't really have a LinkedIn profile. I think I had 2 people on there. He was one of the 2 people. And he said, keep in touch. I didn't have a profile picture or nothing. So I contacted him and was like, hey, Tony, I think I might be at risk of redundancy. Any jobs going? And he said, no, I can offer you a platform to start up on your own if you like. I thought, no, I don't like, actually. I've asked for a job. Don't want to blame any specific gender, but you're just not listening to me. Like, I've asked for a job.
Oh, not going to interject on that one. Please continue.
Yeah.
We can start that debate another time. Who doesn't listen to whom?
I'm just winding you up. Anyway, so he said that, and I was like, no, thank you. I'll just wait this out, see what happens. So I waited it out, saw what happened. Stayed in the job for another year. Same time next year, had another conversation with my line manager. We're making redundancies. We've got to send you a letter, but we all know his actual words were, "You're our star girl." So we all know it's not you. But obviously, I was scared. Been burnt before, so I contacted somebody else, and they said, "Come in for an exploratory chat." We had like just a conversation, and he was like, "First of all, your CV's rubbish." Thanks.
as in rubbish because it didn't highlight how good you are. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, okay. It's like it's just rubbish. Like, having spoken to you, like I just wouldn't have given you the time of day if I'd looked at your CV. And I think that's kind of indicative of most people. Like, we don't have to sell ourselves. So he goes, "Let me redraft that for you. I'm not going to give you the job, but have you thought about starting up on your own?" And I really just thought he was trying to let me down gently. I was like, I'm a big girl. Just don't give me the job. It's okay. He did redraft my CV. It was rubbish when I saw what he'd done with it.
Okay.
And I was like, no, I really don't want to start up on my own.
Do you mind if I try and hone on that? Sorry, I know.
Yeah.
Sorry. When you said it was rubbish, can you give examples that possibly
Yeah.
not embarrassing or too personal? Like, what could you have done differently? What wasn't quite right about it?
So I hadn't highlighted, that I was a great communicator, or some of the cases that I'd worked on, or that I had any commercial awareness, because I'd always been an advocate. So I was just like, this is what I do. You give me 25 cases and I'll work them. I represent people in tribunals. But I didn't talk about the fact that I had some commercial awareness, or some of the tricky cases that I dealt with, or how I manage my time, or what I do in my spare time. There was nothing personal about it. It was, like when you're at school and they tell you how to do a CV, like put your qualifications and then where you've worked. It was very basic.
Yep.
So yeah, he was like, no, you've you've not really done yourself any favors there.
Okay.
My husband was like, at the time, he was like, why don't you just go out on your own? This is the second person that's told you that. And I was like, no, because we need a guaranteed income. So I thought I'd just wait and see what happens. And then I wasn't made redundant. Because they promised me they wouldn't, so they wouldn't. And then the next year, I was at risk of redundancy again. And I was starting to do, because I was more experienced, so I started to go further afield. I'd be representing people in Wales, going for 5 days, 6 days, had a young daughter.
Yep.
And I started to notice some things about how the company was changing, not necessarily treating everybody right. I was always treated fair, I have to say, but some of my friends weren't. So you kind of side-eyeing them a little bit, like, well, when's my time going to come?
Yep.
And then this time round, they said everyone's got a re-interview for their own job. So I did, went through the interview, and they were like, any questions? And I was like, yeah. How much is voluntary? I was like,
I guess they weren't expecting that.
No. Well, they should have been, because I'd been emailing them and they'd been ignoring my emails and how much is voluntary. I had no intention, even at that point, of going into business. Like, I was exploring the possibility. And they were like, you don't need to know. I said, well, no, I kind of do. And like, come on, this is what we do. You should at least explore. You don't have to give me voluntary, but at least consider, unless there's certain people you're trying to get rid of. And they just went, how much do you want? And I named some, like, I forgot all of my training. I named some really naff figure, which I can't talk about, like really naff.
Yeah,
really
I get you.
figure. And then I was, just because I thought, well, let's see. And my boss, who thought I was his star girl, says you need to be gone within 10 days. So it was, oh, you took the leap. No, I was like looking over the edge of the mountain and kind of fell. So it's like, so then I was like, well, I might as well just give it a go. I sort of said I'll give myself 12 months. I didn't have 12 months money, so I don't know why I had that figure in mind. But
It's
I
a
said,
good round number.
12 months. Yeah, it was silly, but yeah. So give myself 12 months and see what happens. I said, I'm not unemployable. I probably am now, but I wasn't then. And then I'm still here, sort of 10 years later.
Okay. Milestone moments, because obviously
Oh, you're
you
frozen.
started by yourself.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah,
employees
started by
now,
myself.
correct?
Yes, yeah.
I did freeze, sorry. How many employees do you have now?
So we're a team currently of 8 people.
Okay.
So in the office here in Rochester, there are 4 of us, and then I have 4 associates around the country.
Nice. Now, okay, this is the question I'd usually ask other business owners and people start their own business, but you might have a different perspective, because I've often been told hiring the first person is the most difficult thing. Was it still difficult for you, or was it easier because you have a recruitment and
Probably
employment
more
background?
scary, because I know what can go wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. I was terrified. I put it off. I kept putting off hiring somebody. Even though it was always in my plan to grow the business. I didn't want to be beholden to the business. Like, I like to have holidays. I like to, and it took me a while to get there, but I always knew that was the plan. But yeah, when I first thought about it, I contacted a good friend of mine, Lisa Settle. I was like, I need to come and see you. She's like, okay. I was like, I need to hire someone. She's like, okay. Why? This is your bag. Why are you talking to me? And I was like, it's just a scary thing to do. So yeah, definitely the first hire is the hardest. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, the reason why I'm looking away, I'm trying to look see if there's any comments that have gone through, but there haven't. So any regular viewers, by the way, Marcus, I don't know where you're at, dude. If you could maybe ask some questions. Gemma's here to ask questions. She's an expert. Okay, she's an expert, and you won't call yourself this, but I'll call you this. She's an expert. She knows what she's talking about. Okay, so had your first hire. How long did it take you to get to your first hire? Sorry.
2 years.
2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I guess, again, just to reiterate kind of what you said, it's because basically you realized you didn't want to be the business, right? Like, you knew you wanted to have time away from it.
Do you know what? I just had no time. I'd picking up, business was starting to pick up some traction. I didn't have any time. So yeah, at the time, so my daughter would have been maybe 6 or 7 at the time. And I was like, we need a holiday. We didn't take, I said, like, we need a holiday. And I said to my husband, oh yeah, we can have a holiday now because we can kind of afford it. And he was like, I haven't got the time, so let's just go to Chessington for 3 days. Picked up my goddaughter, because 2 children, it's easier to look after than one. I know you have 1 child, so like just someone else for them to talk to. And with. And I spent most of the time of those 3 days running back to the hotel room to answer calls. So he was like, you can't keep doing this. Like, just take somebody on. And I was like, I can't really afford to, or it's a scary thing to do. So I used to be a co-host on a radio show, and I had interviewed somebody who on the show at the time, because they were in business, and that person had been putting on their LinkedIn that they were looking for part-time work in the legal sector. And so I just contacted her and was like, want to work with me? I can be flexible. I was like a flexible employer. Come and work with me. At the time, when I told her the salary I was offering, she was like, and I was like, I know, but that's all I can afford. But I promise you, if you stick with me, and you help me to grow this business, then I will give you a pay rise. And I was true to. I gave more than one pay rise, several pay rises, and she stayed with me for about 5 years.
Oh wow,
So
that's fantastic.
yeah, it was good. It's good.
Okay, so you've been in business 10 years. This is going to be a very broad question.
Mm.
If I ask you this, what is the biggest obstacle you had to overcome in those 10 years? The first thing that comes to your mind.
Getting your first clients, like managing that cash flow in the beginning.
Okay.
But I always say this: the first 2 years is definitely the hardest. Maybe the first 3 years, actually. For the first 2 years, it took me 6 months. I underestimated how long things would take. So I always
Yeah.
just say to people, if you're thinking about going in business, however long you think it's going to be before you're,
Double it.
yeah, just double it. Just double it, and
Okay,
then
so
yeah.
what did you do that kind of broke the trend, that changed the buck, that got you that first client? Is it talking to the right people, persistence,
Yeah,
email,
I was
calling? What
networking. I was
networking?
networking quite early on, but I didn't realize, and I know that it might sound silly now because people network to get clients, but I didn't actually think it would materialize into getting clients. So it wasn't
Kind of
really
how
what
it
I was
works.
doing. Yeah, I
And
didn't.
now you're the chair of the FSB, Federation of Small
Yeah, I
Businesses.
know, right?
It's like a pantheon of networking.
Yeah. So yeah, but I was networking more to get knowledge because I had no business sort of acumen whatsoever.
Mm,
I did have a business beforehand, I should say,
mhm.
but it was like a hobbyist business. I still have chair covers, like wedding chair covers and things like that. But I didn't have to go out and get clients for that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So I was networking just to learn things because in those 10-minute speaker sessions, I'd learn about social media or accounting or things I'd never heard of. And so after a few months, when someone said to me, "Can I talk to you?" I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, what have I done?" I was like, what? And they're like, "I've got this problem." I was like, "Uh-huh. Oh yeah, that's me. That's what I do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's you.
I can,
Yeah,
yeah.
you
I
can
can
help.
help you
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that."
yeah.
So that was quite hard. And then I'd say, and they asked me, but the second thing would definitely be like pricing, understanding your value.
As in not
So
undercharging or working out
yeah, not
how much extra
undercharging.
hours you do
I
around
just
the actual
under
work,
just
right?
not undercharging. Yeah. Even my hourly rate was like ridiculously low. So yeah.
Can I presume that backfired a little bit because if it was too low, you weren't earning enough to make the job enjoyable, or?
Do you know, it's interesting because it's about perceived value. So lots of people wouldn't work with me because I was too cheap. So they assumed, like, if I offered you a bar of gold for £20, would you think it's fake
I
or
think it's
would
fake
you
gold.
bite my
Yeah,
hand off? Yeah.
100% think it's fake gold.
So, like an example being, one of the suggestions to try and bring some clients was to do a course, and so I put this course out at £20 per person per month for 5 months. So it's like a get to understand HR. I had 0 sign-ups.
Yep.
And then the feedback I got from my Women in Business Networking group was, take it off the market, repackage it,
Mhm.
do it for £200 per person,
Yep.
and see what happens. Did that and it sold out. Like the exact same.
Exact same course, just you'd undervalued it. Okay, that's powerful. I'm just going to
Yeah.
reiterate that. So you're charging £20 per person per month, no take up. Same course, same material, same delivery, £200. People sold out.
Yeah.
I think that's a powerful lesson. We're going to zoom
Yeah.
into that. Powerful lesson.
Yeah. You got to value yourself. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
So that was definitely another big lesson in that time.
I realise we have gone 20 minutes. I've not asked you any silly questions.
Oh, go for it.
Well, the thing is, I've had you on this show before, so I've already asked you most of the silly questions. I don't have any new ones, if I'm honest. Like, I've already asked you the biscuit question, right?
Can't remember.
If
Probably
you were a
have.
biscuit, what kind of biscuit would you be? That accurately portrays your personality and why, but don't just pick your favourite biscuit.
Oh. Maybe like a rocky road.
Okay.
It's a variety,
That's your personality, variety.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a non-HR type question, just for fun. This is a ridiculous question, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm warning
Okay,
you.
go for it.
Popeye, SpongeBob, Bugs Bunny, Shag, Marry, Kill.
Sorry, which one do I prefer? Shag, marry, kill. Popeye.
You never played this game before?
No, never.
Okay, you can only
So,
pick one. You can
Popeye,
only pick one for one. So like
SpongeBob.
if you pick kill one, then you can only marry or shag the other ones that are left. Popeye, SpongeBob, and Bugs Bunny.
Definitely marry Popeye.
You marry Popeye, okay?
Yeah, obviously. Nice, strong character there.
Yeah.
Who am I killing?
Mm.
Oh, because that doesn't leave me with much choice, does it?
It does not. And let's change the word shag to kiss. That's more
Yeah,
appropriate, I think. Kiss, marry, kill.
a kiss SpongeBob, because I don't
Kiss
really
SpongeBob.
like Bugs Bunny. It's just like a massive rodent.
He is a massive rodent.
Yeah.
Thank you for humouring me. I'm aware that question is ridiculous, and possibly not appropriate at all in a work setting.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
I did ask it once at work. It backfired
Yeah.
horribly.
Not advisable.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay. Employment law. There's things happening in the UK. What's happening? When's it happening? Why is it happening?
There's so much happening. It's quite exciting for me. Probably like
I can
not
already see
many-
the pound signs in your eyes. I get it. Yeah. I'm
it's
messing.
not just
I'm
that, it's
messing.
interesting. So lots of things are happening. Actually, we're just listening to a webinar. We've got the Employment Rights Bill coming into force in the next sort of 2 years. It's actually rolled out a lot longer than I thought it would, because they, Labour came in their first 100 days. We're going to make all these changes, and I thought, oh my goodness, that's a lot. 28 changes. But we've got the roadmap now, so most things will happen next year in 2027. So we've got lots of time. But massive things, there's the suggestion that employees will get day one rights. If people don't know, you actually don't have any rights until about 2 years into employment. Very few rights, should I say. So they've been talking about getting them from day one. Actually, House of Lords pushed back on that last week and said there should be at least a 6-month grace period. So,
do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, I think it should be a year. That's my view. But 6 months is a compromise.
I guess because you can see it from both sides, having been an employee and being an employer, right? Like you've got to protect both sides, right?
Absolutely. And as an employer, sometimes you interview people and someone else turns up for the job. I've had that. I had to dismiss somebody within 10 days last year. I employed somebody and somebody else turned up. And I knew...
Sorry, wait. So you interviewed John and Benjamin turned up?
I mean, it was the right person. It was the same person, but just in terms of the personality
they portrayed
in there. Yeah.
Got it. Sorry, I was like, what? Sorry. Okay. They different character in the interview, and then real life, the work ethic's completely different. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So, sometimes you need that, and also, a lot of people. I think you said just before we came on, more rights for us, the employees. It makes things better. So, yeah, but then if you think about how that will actually work in practice, that will make things more difficult. So, when I speak to people, my clients are like, well, if, I might want to give somebody who's been out of work for a long time a chance. Mm-hmm. So maybe somebody who's been a stay-at-home mom, or somebody who has a disability or has some health challenges. They might not have been in work for 2, 3, 8, 10 years, and I want to give them an opportunity. But if you think you can't get rid of them, you're not going to give them that opportunity. Or maybe they don't have the qualifications and you're willing to invest in them if you think they have the aptitude. So in the long run, I think it will impact those that are furthest from employment, because people won't be willing to take the risk.
I'm inclined to agree with you, despite my smiley face and being an employee. I get that as well, because I've also tried starting a business and looked at employees, and I understand. I was like, yeah, you're right. If you can't get rid of someone quickly who's not the right fit after a month or two, then you've got a problem. So I get that. And another thing as well, it's not quite the same, but the whole NI contributions, and this is getting into politics, government making it harder for entrepreneurs to employ people. It's like it's costing your business more to employ the same staff member, which is also having an impact on the age that people hire or the experience. Less businesses will take on less experienced people because they actually want people to be able to do the job straight away, because it's costing them more to have that employee.
Yeah, exactly. And so we're seeing that in the the kind of the job market now. And the rate of unemployment. So, and even recently I was doing hiring people, doing interviews, and a couple of the people I was interviewing, like, why are you looking for another job? I got dismissed because of the NI contributions were too high, and so they had to make redundancies. So all of these things, whilst probably well intended, I think there's an equal and opposite reaction for everything, right? And a lot of these things are going to make things, in my opinion, probably more tricky for the employee.
No, 100%. What advice would you give to employers about these changes?
Stay on top of them, because there is so many there's so many so many changes, and start planning now. I think it might be tempting to say nothing's happening, so I'll wait until it happens, but it's important to start preparing now. So another thing that is happening, if you're an organization that relies heavily on people who come here to this country from other countries, like, and rely on a visa status. We know there's going to be some changes happening to who will be eligible. So you might need to start changing your recruitment model, because let's say you're in care, for instance, that will no longer be a route. And I've got clients who are 90% immigrant based in terms of their workforce. So start thinking early about how you start managing that. Another thing is, for businesses that are bigger, they're going to be a mandatory equality and diversity reporting on disability and ethnicity.
Okay.
But if you, and you might be like, okay, that's fine. Well, when the time comes, I'll just create the form, send it out. But you need to start building that trust with people so that they're willing to divulge information, because sometimes people are not willing to divulge information. It's not always obvious. Yeah.
I have no desire to fill out any forms.
See what I
at
mean?
all.
So we need to build trust with you, Dale.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
I am an absolute douchebag when it comes to DEI surveys. I'm like, nah, you don't need to know. You don't need to know.
Yeah. So that's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Okay.
So there are things, definitely. My advice is just start looking into it now. Get in touch with us or somebody else, but just start looking into things now. That's my advice.
Okay. Tangent question. Another one. Obviously, you deal with a lot of confidential things. Obviously, if you can't answer this question, please say, what is the most ridiculous / funny situation you've been in with employment law? Like, where you looked at a case and been like, how did it even get this far? Do you know what I mean? Have you ever had that kind of like, this is ridiculous?
I get those
kind of funny?
quite often. Yeah. I get those quite often.
Why did you not have a policy in place? Or anything like that stands out in your mind?
Have a policy. No, well, you'd be surprised how many organisations don't have policies and contracts. Established organisations as well. You'd be surprised.
I am surprised. I would assume everyone's got contracts in place.
No.
Oh, right.
Sometimes we come in and the business has been going for 20, 30 years and there are no contracts. Sometimes, and the demographic is people of different ages working for them, etc. Just never have worked that way.
Any comical ones that come to mind?
None that I could think of that I could divulge in terms of policies for now. But sometimes we do see things, like we see a lot of pictures and videos and stuff. So you have to be quite, you're like, okay.
You mean inappropriate things? Sometimes,
yeah, quite often. Okay. Yeah. Or sometimes people have written things down. Like, why did you write that down? Why you were thinking that? Why did you write that? Why did you write it down? Yeah.
Because if it's not written down, it didn't happen, Gemma.
I mean,
you probably shouldn't write that thing down.
Yeah, probably shouldn't write it down, because now it's like tangible evidence.
Evidence. Yeah,
now we haven't got to prove that you said it. We've now actually got it written down.
It's not quite the same thing, but occasionally doing bookkeeping for self-employed sole traders, where they don't have a separate bank account, and they'll give us all their records, and we will see their personal expenses. That's always interesting, seeing their spending habits. Yeah.
Well, I used to, so before I got into employment law, I used to work for the official receiver. And I know that's why it'd be a rocky road, because I've got many, it's a lot of depth. And my role was a further investigator, which was really fun, because I'd be getting into people's
why did the business fail? Insolvency?
No, I'd be going for their bank. I used to enjoy, ordering their bank statements and their credit card statements, because they'd tell me they have no money and blah, blah, blah. And then you'd feel like, there was a £30,000 caravan transferred to your daughter. Where did that come from? Doing all that tracing. Once we had somebody, I was interviewing the woman, because you interview people when they come in. And I was like, so there's a loan taken out on your house, her and her husband. And the husband's like, I didn't sign that. And she's just like, really quiet. I'm like, no, this is a signature. I've contacted the finance company who signed it. It turns out she's having an affair with his best friend. His best friend signed it, like, forged his signature on her behalf. So that was quite interesting, watching that unfold. Yeah. That's quite interesting watching that. Okay. I'm watching that unfold. So that was a very interesting role.
What's a moment where you've been like just super proud of the work or support that you've given?
Is there one?
Yeah, one that sticks out. One that's like you really helped a business, you really transformed it, possibly even saved a business just by you coming in and giving your advice. It gives you the warm fuzzies.
sounds really bad that I can't think of this one.
No,
I feel
not
like
at
we
all.
do that every day.
It's been so many. It's been so
Yeah,
many.
no, they really have. I feel
Yeah.
like we do that every day. You know what? I think there was a particular business where the business owner was having anxiety about going to his workplace because one person in the business was making his life a living misery for about 6 years. And he just didn't know. He just felt like the employer had all the power and helped him to dismiss that person. And he got his life back because he couldn't walk away from the business. He felt like he couldn't, he couldn't just go and get another job. I think that's quite sad, Yeah.
Have you ever had an "I told you so" moment? And can you share that "I told you so" moment?
I had one last month. So, yes, I have them quite often.
Yep.
So one of our clients had somebody working for them who was pregnant and was known to be somebody who would take things further. So the person was known to be on Panorama and had a few protected characteristics. And so they contacted us and said, this person says they're pregnant, like, what do we do? And it was really simple. This is what you do is, first thing you do is do a risk assessment. Here is the risk assessment form. Just have a meeting and go through this form with them. And they didn't do it. So about a month later, one of my team members contacted them and said, we asked you to go for this risk assessment. Have you done it? And they were like, no. A month later, we're like, it's not too late, but you need to do it now. Do the risk assessment. They didn't do it. Anyway, that went to tribunal. We ended up having a judicial mediation, which is like mediator where the judge is involved to try and solve things. And it cost my client £30,000. I'm not talking, and I don't mean in representation. I just mean money they had to hand over to the other side. And that usually does surprise us because I'm like, well, you pay us for advice each month, but you live and learn.
Yeah. When going on holiday, so this is a very massive tangent. Do you have a preferred location, or is it just
Anywhere
the whole world?
hot. Anywhere hot, yeah.
Okay.
I'm a bit of a holiday snob. I do like it to be hot, and I like to have lots of things to do, preferably near a beach.
Okay.
So I tend to go within a 4-hour kind of radius if it's a short holiday. If it's going to be further, I do like the Caribbean.
I am similar in that regard, in terms of snobbery. I don't do camping.
No.
Ever. I don't like it. It's like paying to be homeless, and I will alienate half my audience for this one. Strongly hate camping. My beef with camping, I'm going to go on a rant now, right? You take everything from your house to a field.
Yeah.
Do everything you would do at home, but harder because you're in a field.
Yeah. And also, where are you going to shower?
Well, you might go to a place that's got shower blocks, but even still, those shower blocks probably not as nice as a shower in your house. So in summary, you've taken yourself somewhere that's harder than when you live to do day-to-day things, to do the things you do day to day, but harder. And I go on holiday to avoid my day-to-day things. I go, if I can, I will go,
all inclusive.
All inclusive. I don't always like money, but like if I can, I go all inclusive because I don't want to have to cook. I don't have to tidy. I don't have to clean. That's why I go on a holiday.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you on that. Holidays for me is a luxury, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm definitely not camping. Yeah, I'm definitely not camping. I'm definitely going somewhere nice.
Not even glamping. None of that. Too much effort.
Yeah, no. Definitely going somewhere nice. I mean, people think that camping and glamping is nice, but it's just not for me. I'm about a soft life.
But you said somewhere warm though, but would you ever do somewhere luxurious and cold? Like I can imagine 5-star hotels, Swiss Alps, some skiing, hot chocolate, underfloor heating in your chalet.
I don't know. So I always thought I would because it looks nice. It looks good on Instagram.
Yeah.
And then I went to New York in February and it was -8 and awful.
That's the mistake you made. New York is just like London, but with Americans in it.
Yeah.
It's got the same latitude. It's just equally as cold. Like
it was colder. I've never been that cold in my life. And I thought to myself, I don't think I could do that again. My daughter went skiing with school in April.
Yeah.
And she loved it. She's like, oh my gosh, mommy, like it's so serene. You got to understand the backdrop of the mountains. I don't know. I'd probably try it once.
So I've been skiing. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And there's two types of skiers, right? There's people who can actually ski and enjoy it, which is great. There's people who go with people who can ski, who sit at the chalet drinking shandies and beer and other beverages. Like it's not frowned
Yeah.
upon. It's all good. And
I'd
depending where
probably
you're
give
making
the
a pond
skiing a
to as well.
go. I'd give the skiing a go. I mean, I don't think I'd be any good at it, but I'd give it a go one time.
I reckon you'd be good at it.
Mm.
Hire an instructor. I reckon you'd be good at it. Yeah.
Don't know, but I'd give it a go. But yeah, my daughter went. She absolutely loved it, and has now decided that has to be her life.
That's a very expensive hobby.
Right?
Like it's not a cheap hobby. Like football,
Yeah.
you can play that anywhere. Skiing, not
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I've asked you some silly questions. I've asked you some serious questions. Do you have any questions for me?
Well, what have you been up to? What have you been doing in terms of like work-wise? What have you been doing? Yeah, what's new?
So
I saw that you spoke at Caltex. Were you at Caltex?
I was at Caltex, yes.
Did you speak?
I did.
Yeah, tell me about that. How was that?
It was really fun. So it was a panel discussion on accounting software and making tax digital for it, so income, because it's going to affect loads of sole traders and people who just own properties, for example. So you could be someone who's got a second property renting out. If your income is above like 50k next year, you're going to need to record your income from that property digitally and file quarterly submissions. And everyone's trying to, well, accountants specifically, like, how do we deal with this as accountants and bookkeepers? Like, yeah, so I got to speak on that. It was pretty fun. Part of the free agent panel, which is good. They're a great software.
Did you like it? Because I don't know how much speaking you've done. How much speaking?
So I've done a fair amount of speaking. I actually have a fear of public speaking, and my idea, on how to get over it was volunteer to speak. So I've spoken at Accountex a couple of times. I've spoken at the Digital Accountancy Show. I've gotten better. So I used to vomit every time I had to be on stage.
Seriously?
Vomit. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I no longer vomit. That's good. And I've noticed it's more enjoyable when it's a panel and it's less focused on me. So if I've got to do a presentation for 20 minutes, I've done it. It's not so much fun. A panel, I can kind of vibe off other people. And yeah. So no, I now kind of enjoy doing it.
Well done for conquering your fear. I did something this year. I learned to swim. That was my conquering my fear.
Congratulations.
I didn't swim at all. Like not even float.
No, like doggy paddle, floating, none of that, no? Oh,
No,
wow.
I can swim now though. So,
I mean, that's a very big fear. And unlike mine, that's not a phobia. That's a real fear. You could drown. I'm not going to die speaking. Like, that's a genuine fear.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Props to you. That's cool. Did you have to get, like, lessons? Like, was it?
Yeah, I had lessons. So there's a guy who's got a private pool in my village. So I hired an instructor to use the pool, and we just did two. There was another lady, two of us, 2-to-1. Because I'd tried lessons before, group lessons. It never materialised or anything. I needed someone to look at me at all times. Yeah, it's like you can't.
I need someone to look at me at all times. So vain. Such a diva.
No, just for swimming.
Look at me.
No, just for swimming, because I had the fear that I was going to drown. So I was like, I just need to know that. And I needed someone to be in the water, because a lot of swimming instructors teach from outside the water.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I need someone in the water. I need to know that when I'm doing things that they are looking at me and not kind of concerned about other swimmers.
Yep.
So I did that for a while, and then.
So prior to these lessons, when you went on your hot holidays to the beaches, you were just like
dip my feet
paddling?
in the water. No.
Okay.
I would just sit on the side, put my feet in the water.
All the fun.
Yeah, but now I'm ready to, like, age regress and play mermaids and all the things that I missed out on for my whole life.
Do it. Swimming is fun. It's a great skill to have.
And my lifetime ambition is to swim to a swim-up bar. So if I can get that, like, just take one drink and come back, because it always looks like fun. Never do water parks or anything for the same reason. But and like I see people doing paddleboarding, all sorts. So I might build myself up to that.
Thank you for being vulnerable on the show. We listen and we don't judge.
Yeah. Well, also maybe somebody will want to do the same things as well. So you do it. You're never too old, right?
Okay. Who's your favorite employee?
Employee? I don't have favorites. Like children, you don't have favorites.
The best answer I've had to that on this show, I've asked people who's your favorite child if they've got more than one. And I think the fairest answer is the one that's annoying me the least that day.
Yeah.
I think that's a very good answer.
Yeah.
You didn't fall for my trick. You weren't going to say a name. Too good, too professional.
And they all bring different things, let's be honest with you. Like, everyone brings something to the table. So Probably myself. That would be the one that it needs the most talking to.
Fair enough. Okay, question for some of the younger viewers, because I found out recently that I actually get teenagers watching this and
Oh, cool.
students. What advice would you give for someone looking to get into the world of employment, actually doing it as a role or a job? Because doing research before speaking to you, there are lots of different branches of, when I use all the old terms, personnel, HR, people and culture. There's lots of different facets. What advice would you give to people?
Oh, I see what you mean. Do you know, I feel like you need to be an employee first. So definitely, like, just go and get any experience. Go and work as a waitress. Hardest job I've ever done, waitressing when I was a young person. Watch some webinars, see if you can get some work experience, try different things. It's not everything you'll like. So with us, for instance, we do consultancy. So we work, if you work with us, you will learn lots of things because we are working across lots of different organizations, lots of different sectors. It's very different to working in-house. So if you work just for a GP practice or just for a beautician or the media, you'll find it different as well. But yeah, try all of those different things. Like, yeah, 100%. There are some qualifications you can get as well, not necessarily law. So you can do a CIPD. You can. It's quite accessible. They've got level 3, level 4, level 5, level 7. Yeah. But I don't often get many young people say that's what they want to do. It's not really, even like last week we had a work experience student. She was 15 and she came to us because she wants to do law. But she was like, I thought it was going to be boring, and ended like, that was really interesting. I was like, I know. But you don't, if you haven't had much life experience, I don't often hear people say that's what they want to do when they're much younger.
Similar with accounting. Not a lot of young people want to get into it. Again, because of the stereotype, but actually a very, very fun job, very rewarding. Get to meet some very cool people. But yeah, unless you've done it or got experience with it, you don't realize how fun it can be.
Also, I guess it depends on where you work, because not every accountant is fun.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
I did go to, remember I was telling you I went to an event and I met a couple of your friends. We were like the Weird Dale's friends group. But I went to, what was it called? The lady who lives in Dubai, her thing.
Oh, Jerry.
Yeah.
Williams. Oh, you went to one of her events.
Yeah.
Yes. And I assume you met Dwayne and Lawrence.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah, met Dwayne and Lawrence, and we were like, we're the Dale's friends group.
You have no idea how much you've just boosted my ego, by the way.
Yeah.
I wasn't even there.
I know. Yeah. So
I'm a friendly
yeah.
person.
Well, that's good. And also, I think for anybody who's getting into any type of employment whatsoever, young person, start building your network now. That's another thing that's really important. Like, they can start on LinkedIn, they can start going to things, even if you don't know exactly what you're going to do or where you're going to end up. I think it's all about those dots, isn't it? Life's a bit like a dot to dot. All the little things that you do, what I found with myself anyway, all the things that I've done. So working in insolvency, waitressing, all the different things, Pizza Hut, all the things that I've done in my life, learning mentor, all of those things have kind of led me to this point, and it's all useful. You didn't think at the time, but it is all useful. So yeah, start building your network now.
You know what? I'm going to end it there, because usually I ask people if they've got an extra nugget of wisdom, but that was flawless. So, Gemma, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being the first guest that got to hear the intro music. That was pretty dope. I'm very excited about that.
It's really good.
I'd love to have you on again at some point in the future. You need to meet Tony.
Yeah.
You need to meet Tony. So, all right, I'm going to hit end stream. We're going to smile and we'll bounce.
Tell.